Good morning, children. Children, welcome back to your online business study class. And today we will be going through with the second video of chapter number 5, and that will be emerging modes of business. So, before we start the topic from this chapter, I hope you are following the instruction which has been given by your teachers to you many times regarding COVID-19. I hope you are following the COVID-19 appropriate behavior, and that is wearing mask properly, washing your hand frequently, and following at least 6 feet of physical distance from each other. So these are the only 3 ways by which we can protect ourselves and our others also. Now let's discuss what we have gone through in this chapters in the previous video. So student, emerging modes of business, I have explained you that there are different ways by which we can conduct our business. So the modes of business basically means the manner by which we conduct the business. It means we can define that mode of business can be the manner of conducting business is called as mode of business. Now in the earlier time, business we used to conduct where more and more manpower is required because the technological uses are very less in that time. But right now the business has been completely changed from human power to the technological world. Now the trends means the shaping of business from traditional to right now or currently dependent on the 3 elements, that was digitization, outsourcing and internationalization and globalization. These are the 3 ways which shape the business completely differ from the traditional manner. These all 3 things we have already discussed, and after that we have gone through with e-business. It means what is e-business? So e-business basically means conducting business by the help of computer network or internet network is called as e-business. Now the next is scope of e-business. Now scope of e-business means what are the different way where the e-business are utilized. So in the scope of e-business, it's used for B2B commerce, that is when a business enterprise with the another business enterprises, both the parties are involved in e-commerce transactions by the help of computer network. We call that B2B commerce. It means for example, you can understand where one business organization is interacting with other business organization by the help of computer network, that is called as B2B commerce. The second was B2c commerce. Now children, B2c commerce say that way the one business organization interact with its customer by the help of computer network. We call it B2C commerce, means business to customer. Now we have an example of online shopping here. What is happening? The computer network is utilized as a platform to interact with a business person from the customer side and a business to a customer. Now the next one was intra-B. Intra-B means both the party involved into the electronic transactions are from within a given business firm. It means here both the party who are interacting into the computer network here are within a same business organization. That is called as intra-B. Now C2c commerce. C2c commerce basically means where both the person who are interacting over the computer network are customer only. Now how could it possible that both the person are customer only? So this we can understand like when we purchase a book, right? We got that book, we become customer of that book, right? We are working there at a point of C because we are purchasing the book, so we are the customer there. When the book which we have already purchased, we are reselling that book to somebody else, the another person become the customer over there. So in this way what is happening? Interaction of one customer to the other customer. So this is all what we have done in the previous video, and then we have discussed about e-business versus traditional business. We have discussed here that what is the difference between e-business and traditional business, and today we will be discussing about the benefit of e-business. Now student, what benefit a business organization will get if they are doing business by the help of computer network or by electronic manner? Now the first thing is that the first advantage will be easy of formation and lower investment required. It means if you are going through with a traditional business, we require to set up an industry. But in case of e-business, it is easy to start. Easy to start basically means we require only the internet technologies and the internet, and we can able to start our business by the help of networking into a broader manner. We don't require any physical resources for that. We don't require much human resources for that. So this is basically easy to start and where lower investment is required. So this is the first advantage of e-business, that it can be easily started or with a less investment. Now the second advantage of e-business is it is convenience. It is convenience. Why? Because if we compare it with a traditional business has a limited time to start. They are mostly started either from morning to night, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. After that, if a person needs something, they go to the market, they'll see that the shops are closed, right? But in case of e-business, it is not like that. In case of e-business, internet offer convenience to the customer by providing services of 24 hours and 7 days or 365 week. So that is the reason we say that e-business is convenience. It can be a person or a customer can able to take the services of e-business anytime or any day. Next is speed. As it is already mentioned here that in case we go through with a traditional business, it took time to buy and sell the things. It means exchanging of information also from seller to customer and from producer to customer took time in case of traditional business. If you want to purchase anything, you have to go to the shop, you have to ask about the information, you have to collect the information, then only you can take your purchasing decision. Now in case of e-business, it is not like that. The information are available about the product anytime. Whenever you access the website, easily you can able to get the information, and easily you can within a click only of a mouse you can able to purchase the thing. So the exchanging of product from producer to customer is taking very less time in case of e-business. Now the next is global reach access. Now when we talk about traditional business, we can take example of any shop. This shop can be able to be accessible by people who are living nearby to that, but it cannot be able to accessible by a people those who are very far away from that. So it make the shop available for a limited people, right? It make the business available for a limited people. But in case of e-business, electronic business, internet is truly without boundaries. On the one hand, it allows the seller an access to the global market, and on the other hand, it affords to the buyer a freedom to choose product from almost any part of the world. It basically means what? Even the seller also and the buyer also can globally accessible, means they can reach to the global, they can be accessible from anywhere into the world. How? We have made the websites where we have inserted or accessible all the products there. Any customer who access the website from the home by the help of network can able to purchase anything, or any producer who use the computer network can able to sell anything. Now that is the reason we said it can be globally accessible and reachable by any buyer or by any seller. Next is movement towards a paperless society. Now this is very important that use of internet has reduced dependency on the paperwork and attend red tape. It means in case when we have a traditional business where technologies are not used, what we have, everything whatever we are recording, we are using paper for that. It might be that you will be not able to save these paper for a long period of time, right? But in case of the e-business, what we are doing, we are moving from a paperless society, means where everything are going to be recorded in the papers at the earlier time or traditional time. Right now, after the electronic business or e-business, what is happening, we are moving away from a paperless society. So here the data is also stored for a long period, it's safe also, and we are also reducing the dependency of paper right now. So this is all about the advantage of electronic business. Again, just we can have a quick review here that e-business means a business which is conducted on or by the help of computer network or internet. Now e-business, it can be easily started, it can be required a very less investment. Why? Because traditional business को start करने के लिए you required a building, you required assets, you required lots of people. इसकी वजह से आपको क्या होगा, इसकी फॉर्मेशन डिफ़िकल्ट हो जाती है और इन्वेस्टमेंट की रिक्वायरमेंट ज़्यादा होती है. बट इन केस ऑफ ई बिजनेस वी डोंट रिक्वायर एनी बिल्डिंग फॉर दैट, वी डोंट रिक्वायर एनी सो मेनी पीपल फॉर दैट, we don't require a long procedure, so the starting or the formation is easy also with less investment also. Second is it's convenient. E-business is convenient for whom? For a seller also and for a purchaser also, mean buyer also, because there is no time limit, there is no day limit. Anytime anyone can purchase and sell anything over the internet. Now speed. Now the speed of a e-business is very high. How? The selling and purchasing which is done into e-business, or we can say the exchanging of product inside e-business can be done very fastly. Why? The informations can be able to get or fetch from any customer or seller by just on a mouse click. Next is global reach and accessible. It means because e-business we are doing by the help of internet can be able to be accessible by any country. There is no boundaries for the internet. So that's why any seller can able to sell its product into any nations by the help of internet, or same thing any buyer can able to purchase anything from any nation. So that's why we said this is globally reachable and accessible. And next is movement toward a paperless society. So in the traditional time, when we are going through with the traditional business, whatever selling or exchanging has been done, we used to record that by the help of paper, which cannot be able to store for a long period of time. So by the help of e-business, what has been done now, everything can be recorded into internet, into the computer. So what we are doing here, we are going away from the paper society, we are moving toward paperless society. Now this was all about e-business. Now with the advantage of e-business has certain disadvantage also, limitations also. Means while you are exchanging your product over the internet, it has certain benefit also, but with that it has certain losses also. Now what are these disadvantage or limitations? So the first is low personal touch. Now how? Low personal touch basically say that it is relatively less suitable mode of business in respect of product categories required high personal touch such as garment, toiletries and so many others things. Low personal touch say that because e-business, the seller and the purchaser is not able to interact with each other, so there is no personal touch between these two parties. There are lots of business and there are lots of product which require more and more interaction for the purpose of exchanging it from seller to buyer. So this is the one of the disadvantage of e-business, that less interaction is there and there was no direct interaction between the seller and the purchaser, because both are using a platform of internet to purchase and sell things, so there is no direct contact, so it has a disadvantage of low personal touch. Next is encourage between order taking, giving and order fulfillment. Now what basically happen in this, that the information can flow at the click of a mouse, but the physical delivery of the product take time. This may play on the patience of the customer at the time due to technical reasons. Website take unusual long time to open. This may further frustrate the user. It say that this is the second disadvantage of e-business, that it took some time, more time to fulfill the requirement of a customer, or sometime the orders take much time. Now e-business is completely running over the internet. Sometime when we have a weaker network issues, or when we don't have a network strongest network, the product cannot be able to be available to the customer on time, or even at the time of giving demand also it took time, so this order can be delayed also. Next is need for technology capability and competency of parties to e-business. Now here, if we talk about traditional business, we don't require more technological person and technological heavy person who have a proper knowledge of technology, because they basically need three things: they can able to read, they can able to write, and then they can able to arithmetic basically means they can able to calculate. If a person has these three qualities, they can able to involve into traditional business. But in case of e-business, a person need to be more technological heavy. If a person is not aware about the computer world, then he or she will be not able to use the platform of e-business. Now next is increased risk due to anonymity and non-traceability of parties. Now, because over the internet transactions occur between cyber personalities, right? Because the person who is going to interact on the website does not know that person. Website only understand the IP address of the computer which the customer is using to purchase anything, so it's very difficult to establish the identity of the parties, and one does not know even the location from where the parties may be operating. So sometimes this can create risk about the parties who are involving into the e-business. Now next is people resistance. The process of adjustment to new technology and new way of doing things causes stress and a sense of insecurity. As a result, people may resist an organization plan of entry into e-business. Now people resistance basically say that it's a human tendency that we don't accept the changes very frequently, right? So whenever there is any organization who is trying to shift to e-business, it might be possible that they have to face this problem, where the people, those who are working into the organization, they try to shift, they try to get the stress because of the shifting of traditional to e-business, and they can have this insecurity, and just because of the insecurity the people may resist the organization. Now next is ethical fallout. Now, we all are aware about planning to quit. So, you may as well as quit right now. This is said by HR manager. This is basically giving an example that when we go through with any e-business or any website networking platform of online shopping, we get a message like this. So, you are planning to quit? You may as well quit right now. These type of messages, are you sure you want to leave the platform? If yes, click on yes. So this is what these are basically the statement which are not ethical statement, right? So this is what one of the disadvantage of or limitation of e-business. Now children, this was all about the advantage or the disadvantage of e-business. Now in the conclusion I can say that despite having lots of limitation of e-business or e-commerce, but e-commerce is the newest or recent way where most of the people are interacting or exchanging their product to each others. Now these days the websites are becoming more and more interactive to overcome the problem of low touch also, like which we have discussed in the disadvantage that the producer and the consumer are not able to directly contact or interact with each other. That's why there is no personal touch. So what has been done now by the website people, what they have done, they have become more interactive. They have added lots of interfaces by which it can be easily interactive from a consumer to a producer side. So this time we are moving towards the e-commerce or towards the electronic business. In the next video we will be talking about online transactions and what are the different way by which we can go through with online transactions.